What's up guys, Justin here with TheSketchUpEssentials.com. So in today's video, we're going to talk about how we can bring in building outlines from the add location function inside of SketchUp. Let's go ahead and just jump into it. All right, so this is actually a feature that came out inside of the add location extension, and it wasn't really talked about all that much by SketchUp in general, which I thought was interesting because it's actually a significant new feature if you work with location data. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to activate the add location toolbar. You can just right click in your toolbars option or area and then select the option for add location. And so once you do that, what you're going to do is you're going to start by adding a location. And so we'll pick a spot somewhere. And so in this case, let's say that we've just got somewhere up in Denver, right off of Spear Boulevard. So we'll go ahead and set our geolocation right here. And so that has now set like the central point. But what we want to do next is we want to move on to the step for adding context. And so this is where things get a little bit interesting. So you might have tried to use this before and you might not have seen all of these buildings in here, right? When you used it before, it probably looked a little bit more like this. And it gave you the option to either bring in the map texture, or if you check this box right here, you would pick the elevated site. And what that would do is that would bring in the site with different elevations and topological data, that kind of thing. So you would see like the up and down of the site inside of what you bring in. But what you might not have noticed is there's now two options over here. There's an option for building footprints, and there's an option for 3D buildings. And if you check either one of these, notice how it's going to kind of fill in a space right here. And so what this does is your map now has the outlines of these buildings inside of it. And so these two do exactly what they sound like, right? You have the option to either bring in a basic outline of buildings or a detailed outline of buildings right here. And if you pick building footprints and clicked on import site context, what that's going to do is that's going to bring in the map of your area, and it's also going to bring in 2D building footprints, and it's going to place them over top of these, right? So if I close out of this, notice how we've got two layers to get brought in. There's the layer for the flat terrain, and there's also the layer for the building outlines right here. And you can access those by clicking in here like this, and notice how you have the option for building footprints, and you also have the option for map texture. Now, one thing about this, which I think is a little bit confusing to people, is a lot of the time what you might want to do is you might want to take a couple of these and extrude them to 3D, right? A lot of the time you're trying to indicate a site like this one, and you want to indicate where the buildings are, but you can't do it because this gets brought in locked. And so what that means is whenever you click on this, it shows up as red. That's a visual indicator that anything that's on this tag or in this group is locked. But if you right click on it and you click on the option to unlock, notice how this turns blue. Well, now I can double click into these. And a lot of the time what I find helpful, because these are both on the same plane, is just toggling the map texture off while I'm doing this. But you can double click into one of these and extrude it to 3D. Like this. And so you have access to all of these different building outlines, and you can take them and you can extrude them to 3D. Then we could toggle our map texture back on, just like this. So this is a fast, easy way to bring in some context models, and this one gives you complete control over what's extruded to 3D. Now, let's say that we didn't want to do this. Let's say that we wanted to bring in actual 3D buildings. So we'll pick the same site or the same spot. So we'll just move our location over here. We'll set our geolocation, we'll add our context. Well, notice how in addition to building footprints, you also have the option for 3D buildings, right? And so if you bring in 3D buildings, then those are actually going to be exactly what it sounds like. Those buildings are going to be extruded to 3D, and you can see what's going to be included based on what turns blue inside of this window right here. So in this case, we're going to bring in 3D buildings. So we're going to keep this on a flat site for right now. Notice how there's an option, there's a little, it's not an error, but it's a little indicator saying building placement options are only available with terrain. We'll take a look at that in a second. But now I'm going to bring in the site context, and we can take a look at the three-dimensional buildings that it's going to create. So if I close out of this, notice how this time, this brought these in extruded to 3D. Now, I'm not sure where the heights come from on these objects. So I don't know if these are true to real world or not. I would suspect probably not. But notice how they do have some variation based on the sizes of the buildings over there. And if you want to adjust them, you just do the same thing, right? You click in here, you right click and you unlock it. And then you can double click into any of these buildings because they get extruded separately, and you can bring them up or down depending on what you want, right? So if you didn't want these to be quite so tall, you'd extrude them down like this. So that allows you to bring in the three-dimensional buildings. And again, it's cool because this is set up where if you go inside of the geolocation context in your flat site, you can toggle the buildings off and you can toggle your map texture off right here. So you have control over the ability to isolate those. So now let's look at one more thing. Let's say that we were to pick a site that has three-dimensional topography on it. So I'm going to move this down to Castle Rock, Colorado, which has just a little bit more like ups and downs, especially in downtown, than Denver. Not that Denver doesn't have some areas that aren't completely flat, but Castle Rock has a lot more. So we're just going to pick the area over, this is probably good right here because there's a lot of elevation change right here. So we're just going to pick this location and we're going to add context. And in this case, instead of picking our flat site, we're going to pick the three-dimensional terrain option instead. So I'm just going to pick up most of where this runs along the road right here. And in this case, we're going to do elevated site and not, I guess we could bring in the flat site too. But for the 3D buildings, notice how you have an option to set where the buildings are positioned on the terrain mesh. So high point versus midpoint means if you pick the midpoint, it's going to take kind of the middle of the building and place that in the terrain. But then the high point is going to place the bottom in the terrain. And notice how if I check the box right here, it'll add kind of a building foundation. So basically what that means is when this creates the building height right here, like we saw up above, you can set it where the entire building height is above the terrain. You can set it where the middle of the building height is in the terrain, and you can also set if there's a foundation, and you can also set if you can isolate those foundations, which I'm going to go ahead and do right here. So in this case, and I think most of the time I'm probably going to pick midpoint because it's not going to have these like towering up above the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and pick midpoint. We'll go ahead and leave a foundation in here, and we'll go ahead and leave the box for 3D buildings checked. In this case, I don't really need the 2D building footprint, so I'm going to leave this alone. And then for my terrain mesh, I'm going to set this to, we can go ahead and set it to low because this is a fairly large area. But now, if I bring this in, it's going to bring in everything, right? It's going to bring in the two-dimensional plane. It's going to bring in the three-dimensional terrain. And it's going to bring in the 3D building footprints with foundations. And you'll be able to access and adjust all of those using the tags inside of your tags manager. Okay, so now we'll close out of this and take a look at what it's done. So if we look in here, we've actually got two sets of buildings and building data. So we've got the flat data right here. So this is taking this entire area and it's just got it as completely flat. And if we jump into our geolocation content right here and take a look at these, notice what this did is this brought in a complete flat site collection, and it also brought in an elevated site right here. So you can see how the elevated site got brought in, and it shows the actual topographical change of the area. And notice how they have two collections of buildings. You've got your flat site down below, and so that just has all of the buildings placed on the flat area. So we can toggle our elevated site. These are all just flat, but then it's also got a collection of 3D buildings that have been kind of stamped on the terrain. And if we look at the way these get dropped into the terrain right here, notice how it's taking kind of a midpoint. And I guess it's not taking the midpoint of the building height. It's just making sure these are kind of in the ground. And then they have a foundation underneath them as well. But notice how this brought in all of these different buildings, including like the houses up on the hill, and it dropped them on the terrain in a way that actually works really well and does a pretty good job of indicating what the three-dimensional layout of the site is going to be. So now you've got a bunch of different options for bringing in buildings using add location. This is actually a really great additional feature, and I'm surprised they didn't talk about it a little bit more when they rolled it out. But this is a really cool tool set. I really like what they've done with it, but I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. What do you think? As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.